Oxygen levels at 20%.
Dad?
Dad? Hello?
It's so great to meet you. I'm really excited to talk to you about this movie. I just finished watching it this morning and it's amazing. You did an amazing job in it.
Thank you.
First, I'm curious what it was like forming a mother-daughter dynamic with Hudson and the biggest lessons you feel like you took away from that experience.
When I first started talking to Jennifer, it was just over the phone and over Zoom. And I thought I had got past my starstruck kind of energy, and then I met her in real life on set, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not over it. I'm not over it. But filming and being on set with her often, almost every day, we started to begin to learn or get to know each other, and we're both Virgos, we both have 2 cats, we both have these things that we like or have in common. And I would even like try like humming or singing on set, but like I felt intimidated to sing in front of Jennifer Hudson, so I kind of tried not to, but I sing a lot when I'm on set, just randomly. So over the time, we started to build this connection where it gave mother-daughter. We spent so much time together. We spent so much time off set. We spent time, because she also had like her nephews and cousins and her son come to set too. So we were all chilling together. We just all chilling in the tent and cooling off. It's hot outside. We were bonding over the heat and sweating in the masks and just bonding over being at set and Virgos and cats and things that we like and love together.
That's awesome. I have 2 cats too, actually. I hope they make an appearance. Sometimes they just like run around behind me. How would you compare your character's situation to what the actual youth is sort of going through today, where they're living in this planet that's sort of increasingly inhospitable?
I think for Zora, I think it's also mentioned in the movie as well that this isn't something that she was born into. This happened to her in her teenage years, and I feel like that's kind of how COVID was. Like it just happened. Like there was no, like we saw the progress of it. We saw that it had started somewhere, but we were like, it's not gonna make it over here. Like we have nothing to worry about. And I feel like that's where, I guess you could say, our generation, my generation, the younger generation are in right now, because we're like, we see it. We see the global warming, we see the pollution, we see everything happening, but it's not gonna get to that point. We're not gonna let it get that bad. And I feel like this movie is showing that it can get that bad. It can get to the point where it's too late to fix it. And we have to do whatever we can to make it better now before it gets to that point.
And the world in this film is so harsh. What do you feel like helps your character and motivates them the most to keep going in this really wasteland-ish environment?
I would say the chores that Zora has gives her a reason to like go outside and do something. But I think also because she is a teenager, doing chores and having responsibilities to do can be draining, and like I don't want to do this now. It's a chore. It's not fun to do anymore. I don't want to go outside and do this. It's boring me. But I think she also partly looks forward to it because there is nothing else to do. Like she used to play softball, can't do that, so she throws the ball against the wall. Like there's books, but we've read all the books. There's a little mini herb garden, but it's just watching them grow. It's like watching paint dry. There's nothing really to do. So I think that's definitely something that's hard for Zora, but she works through it and finds her way around it.
And you mentioned stuff about her life before everything occurred in the movie. Like she used to play softball. Did you guys spend a lot of time sort of diving into what life and the dynamic was like for this family before everything happened?
We spent a little time, yes, because it was important to know what their relationship there being Maya and Zora's relationship was before all of this happened. Even with Common's character, like it was important to see where we started and that we were good. We were outside, we were breathing, we were having little family moments together and enjoying being together. And I think that that's very important for us to talk about and also for us to see in the movie, because it'll kind of give you the sense of like that's where we are right now. We are in the sense of like everything's good, we're outside, we're chilling, like And then 2 years later down the line, this is where we are. It's just us. It's just a few people in the cast. There's few people in the world.
And was there one particular scene that was especially difficult to get through for one reason or the other?
I kind of have two answers to that. Like overall answer is the masks when we were outside, because it was like 100 degrees outside sometimes, and we were in long sleeves and like long pants and layers. So that was challenging. But I have another scene that I did with Sam that was really emotional, and it wasn't exactly challenging because I was already having a rough day that day, so I was kind of emotional already. But it was challenging to separate my personal life from what Zora was emotionally going through, because the emotions were completely different. She's scared crying. I was just like having a bad day crying. Like there was still work that had to be done. I couldn't just use my emotion and be like, all right, I'm crying. No, I had to convey that I was scared. I had to convey the discomfort in the situation. And it was hard for me that day to separate the two, because I felt like I was really down that day, but it worked out and I could use it. But that was definitely challenging to separate the two, and also to be in those masks and it be hot as hell outside.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching. I was like, man, it must get humid and sweaty in that mask.
It did.
And I'm curious, in doing my research, I remembered that you were also in the All Night music video. And I'm curious, A, just how you're liking Cowboy Carter, and B, how you would feel about reuniting and working with Beyoncé again in the future.
How would I feel? I feel like the obvious answer is please, yes, make it happen. I need that to happen. I haven't. My best friend has been kind of on my ass about it because I haven't listened to the whole album like all the way through. I've heard her songs obviously on social media and like over and over again, just playing the little snippets, but I haven't had the time, because this is the thing with me. If I'm listening to an album, I don't want to be interrupted at all. Not for 1 second. I don't want to get in the car and start the album and then have to pause it, walk inside. No, I want to be where I am for the next 2 hours so I can listen to it. And if I want to repeat it, I can repeat something. I need to be not disturbed at all. And I haven't had the time recently to do that. So.
And you mentioned how you sing a lot on set. And obviously in the past you've had roles like Annie. Do you find yourself maybe wanting to return to more musically minded roles in the future?
I have this conflict with myself, and Jennifer even told me that I need to get over it, and so did my mom. But I have this conflict with myself because now that I'm 20, I don't sound like how I did when I was 10 when I did Annie. And I feel like I have this barrier, this wall that I'm trying to fight through, of feeling like people know or struggle with knowing that I look different now, that I grew up. And so they would struggle with hearing my voice and it not sound the same, or people would be like, that was not you singing to Annie. It's like, well, I'm 20 now, so don't really sound the same. So I've just been struggling with that. And also I don't do singing lessons anymore. I just sing for fun. So
that about does it for my questions, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me about this movie. I really appreciate it.
Is that your name, Maya? And is that your daughter? What's her name again, Zora?